Hi guys, welcome back. Welcome back to another video. So I'm here at the house. You can hear the little monster down there playing with her toys. Just got home from school. Spent the day at the office, trying to still get organized. But I wanted to make this video about Kyla because there was a lot of concern. Lynn made a video, she mentioned Kyla not wanting to go. And I don't know if that's really 100% true, to be honest with you, but I have to get more information from Lynn. But Kyla is a teenager and she's going through a lot right now. Kyla is going through a lot of changes. Okay. And I wanted to give my opinion on this. Yes. How can you fit under the couch? You can't fit under the couch.
I want to put my arm.
Go ahead. Just watch out for Huggy Wuggy under there. Watch out, Huggy Wuggy there. She's so mad. I love this kid. So anyways, I want to do this video. I want to talk about Kyla. And I want to give you guys my opinion and then you guys comment below. Kyla's going to turn 15 in another month. Okay. And I don't know, I'm 50 something years old. And, you know, if you look back when you were 15 or 16, it's hard. It's really hard to remember, you know, the emotions that you felt and the way you felt all the time. But I remember me personally, I probably fell in love like once a week. But it's real, you know. I mean, at least you feel it feels real, you know, and you feel it, you know. And you can get emotional, you can get depressed, you can get excited, you get highs and lows when you're a teenager, and I recognize that. I'm not so sure Lynn does, because the only thing that's on Lynn's mind is to keep her daughter from making a big mistake, such as getting pregnant, stuff like that. And the reason why is because, you know, Lynn made that mistake herself when she was 18. But honestly, when Lynn had Kyla, she was in love. You know, she was very much in love with her ex. And so that was a real thing. That was really true to her. And she did everything she could to keep that relationship alive with Kyla's father. But I'm not going to get into that because that's her business. But she really did, you know, she did everything she could to save that relationship. She didn't want to have a broken family. But, you know, it turns out it just didn't work out. And Lynn ended up working overseas for a long time. And that was during Kyla's younger days. And so her mom took over the reins, watched her. And it kind of created this, I think that was a period of 5-6 years of her working overseas and only coming home once or twice a year. And that created this space, this gap between Lynn and Kyla. And so her mom really injected herself into Kyla's life as the mother, okay? Not as the grandmother, but as the mother. And it changed the dynamic of Lynn's relationship with Kyla to this very day. I mean, Lynn has been by Kyla's side continuously for the past 5 years since I met her. She hasn't gone back to work in Kuwait. And in that 5 years, she's still trying to rebuild and regain her closeness, you know, her bond with her daughter, because that bond has been broken. And it's sad because all Lynn was doing was trying to give her daughter a better life by going to work overseas. And it's so commendable, and it's such a brave thing to do. And a lot of Filipinos have no choice but to work overseas to support their family. And that's what Lynn did. You know, Lynn said, look, am I gonna go work, you know, at so-and-so resort for 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, 6 days a week to make 350 pesos a day, you know, roughly like $6 a day? Or am I gonna go work overseas and make a couple $1,000s a month? And that's what she did. And that she did it for her daughter, not so much herself, but the repercussion of that is this gap, is this void between her and Kyla. And she's still struggling to this day to get it back. and it's really hard. It's hard on her. It's hard on me. It's hard on me to watch it and to see it. Because Kyla's emotion and her sense of loyalty is to her grandmother and not so much her mother. And it's very hard. I think Kyla herself doesn't understand her own feelings about those relationships. She doesn't really understand, why her loyalty is towards her grandmother and not to her mother. And it's a very, very hard thing for Lynn, because that's her daughter, that's her flesh and blood. Very hard on her. And it's hard for me to watch. I love Kyla to death. I met her when she was just 8 years old, and she was about the size of, she's 4. This little boss is 4. They're about the same size, and Kyla was 8 when I met her. Adorable little girl, so loving. And I myself come from a family where my mom, got remarried and had a stepdad all my life. I mean, I don't even consider him my stepdad. For me, he's just my dad, just my father. So I have a lot of experience in that department. And so I did my best to treat Kyla the way my stepdad treated me, as a kid growing up. And I tried to, and that was a good example for me. And I did my best, and I do my best to treat Kyla that way, the way I was treated, with a lot of care, a lot of patience, a lot of love. And I do my best to keep out of the discipline part, and that's all Lynn's department. Try to follow how my dad did it, and anytime there was a problem, he would just, talk to my mother in private about it, never to me, never disciplined me, never yelled at me. And so I tried my best to follow that model. And so when I see things going on that are not good, I pull Lynn aside and I say, hey, look it, blah, 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 blah. Maybe you should do this. I don't like what Kyla's doing here. But I'll tell Lynn, not Kyla. And this is all, and we all working together, me and Lynn, to provide the best that we can for these 2 kids, So right now, Lynn's dealing with a raging hormonal teenager who wants to be with boys, who wants to be around boys, who wants to text boys all day and all night. And Lynn is clashing with that, and because she doesn't want Kyla to fall into that trap of getting pregnant, at a very young age, when Kyla has a very bright future if she just listens to her parents, if she just follows what we're trying to do, and, she's supposed to be studying, she's supposed to be reading, and she's not really doing those things. And I don't know how to get through to her about that, because she'll be coming here soon. And I really think she's going to find it very hard. I think she's not going to be able to adjust to the curriculum in the school here. But I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I'm really rooting for her. I'm praying for her. I'm rooting for Kyla, that she just excels and exceeds and is successful. She's only got a few more years of high school, and then she's off to college, and she's going to be doing it all here in the U.S. She's got such an amazing chance. I just hope she takes it. I just hope she doesn't blow it. But I can't do anything more, for them and for her. And but right now, Lynn has restricted her Facebook activities and her messenger, because Kyla is not responsible in that department. And what I mean by that is she's texting, I don't know, she's just inappropriately texting people that she shouldn't be texting. And so we had to put an end to that. And what that does is you can't weed out, the people it's okay to text and the people it's not okay to text. It's hard. So you have to just blanket no texting, no Facebook, no Messenger, because it's hard to weed out the ones that are okay and the ones that are not. And Lynn has told her many times she don't want her texting boys, which I think is a little harsh She's a teenager, but that's Lynn's department, you know. She's trying to take off her sweater. What are you doing? You getting hot? Because you're playing by the window. It's hot over there. So, yeah, I'm trying to get my train of thought about Kyla. And, it hurts Lynn when they fight, you know. Lynn gets really emotional about it. But Kyla can be very, very defiant, you know. She's a good girl, and she does help a tremendous lot. And when she goes to school all day, Lynn's, you know, she misses her. She can't wait for her to come home from school. But if Kyla doesn't get what Kyla wants, she's very, very defiant. Big attitude, you know, and it's like, sometimes it's almost like Kyla runs the house, you know, runs the household. And Lynn has to sometimes put the brakes on that, and then, you know, there's a clash between the two of them. So I'm doing my best to describe this situation to you guys, you know, in a manner that really is still kind of gives them some sense of privacy. But yeah, so this has been going a lot of back and forth with Kyla. There's a boy that I'm pretty sure she's totally in love with. And you know, Lynn's rule is no boys, you know, no boyfriends. And she doesn't really like the way Kyla goes about it. You know, it's like she just puts herself out there 1,000% to the boy, you know, and instead of being a little bit more conservative, you know, let boy come to you a little bit. Kyla's like 100% like a freight train going at the boys, you know. So all these things, you know, give Lynn a lot of stress, you know. It's a lot. It's, yeah. So what? She has a nice house. Big deal. That's not everything. People think that that's all there is to life. Or, oh, you have nothing to complain about because you have a nice house. Big deal. So what? You know, Lynn is, you know, and people, you know, start harping on me, you know, and that's not fair either, because I'm doing my best for everybody. And I'm here for a reason. I'm here back in the USA because I got a lot of things to prepare, a lot of things to do. I got to take care of my own self, my own health that needs a lot of maintenance. I'm like an old car that the oil hasn't been changed in a long time. And so that's what I'm doing right now. I am, you know, getting everything done that I need to do, that I should have done, and I didn't because I was in the Philippines. Okay. And I'm taking care of a 4-year-old. And I didn't just snatch up there and decide I'm taking her home here without Lynn's, you know, approval and stuff like that. There's reasons behind why Thea is here, and there's reasons why I'm here. And Lynn is left back in the Philippines to take care of the house. She's taking care of a lot of things that I can't mention because it's private. You know, we're doing stuff that needs to be taken care of there. And she's dealing with a 14-year-old, 15-year-old. You know, it's hard. It's really hard. And then you get sick on top of that, and it's just even harder. It's like the weight of the world is on her shoulders. What? Can you please not put that under your shirt? You did. So that's my video. Everyone, you know, pray for Lynn that she feels better in a couple of days and that she works everything out with Kyla. And it's not so much that Kyla doesn't want to come to the US, it's just that her and Lynn are clashing on a lot of things. And if you know anything about teenagers, if they don't get what they want, it's like a nightmare. And that's kind of what she's dealing with. And I just feel like, and if Kyla watches this, and I hope Lynn lets her watch this and let her hear my side of the story, is that, you know, we love you very much. We're always trying to make the decisions that are best for you, and we're trying our best to give you a future. And you know, if you're texting boys right now when you're supposed to be, I mean, you'll be hopefully leaving in a couple of months, and so, you know, try to focus your priorities, Kai. You know, boys, yeah, okay, I get it. You're a teenager, you know, but you gotta discipline yourself. You gotta put that aside. And what? I think she just said, "Holy shit!" That you gotta put those things aside, Kai. I mean, you want to give up a future, you know, to be with a boy, you know, that lives in the neighborhood. I'm sure he's a great boy, and who knows? I mean, he could be the next president of the Philippines. We don't know, but you know, you don't want to get stuck. You don't want to get stuck and left behind. You know, you got to look to the future. You got to put that stuff aside for now. Just for now, you got to put that stuff aside, and you got to refocus your brain, refocus, you know, your priorities. It's got to be school. You'll be coming here soon. There's no need to be texting boys and starting relationships unless you want to stay in the Philippines. And that's kind of where Lynn, that's the conclusion of this video, is that's where Lynn is going with this, that she thinks that she wants to stay behind because she's texting these boys, falling in love, whatever it is. And Lynn's trying to prevent all that. And that's it. So that's my 2 cents. Thanks for watching. Peace out.